But then the story here is going to teach us something different that we can bring into our lives and make difference in the life of other people as well. Right, so we live in times where people are so concerned about themselves. Everybody wants to occupy space, want to be seen, want to look good, look perfect. And of course, the internet creates that space. People just put up their best look and then they come outside. When people are going out for outing, when they're going for occasions, they put up their best clothes. They just want to appear bold, want to appear relevant, appear significant. And of course, in this stride, a lot of people ignore others. A lot of people pay little or no attention to people around them. So long as they themselves, they are just okay with themselves and then they feel relevant. But then the story here is going to teach us something different that we can bring into our lives that can make difference in the life of other people as we live daily. It's the story of one Seo Monk kid. Okay, one day she decided to meet with a friend who drove around the office area so she could join a friend back home. As soon as the friend arrived at the office, the friend beckoned on her and then she came out. And as soon as she got to the car, the door was open for her to get into the car. And then she noticed that in the car, there were some folded clothes that were just mended. So she entered into the car and then her eyes got drawn to the clothes. And then she noticed some of the buttons were not sewn with the right color of threads. And then she also noticed some of the stitches were not neatly fitted. Then she told her friend, who on earth had sewn these clothes? Who did this bad work for you? And the friend told her, it's a neighbor, one of my neighbors did it for me. She told her friend that, why would you allow your neighbor do that for you when it's something you can do by yourself? And after all, it wasn't even neatly done. Look at the threads were not well fitted. Then the colors were not in agreement with the color of the clothes. This my neighbor in question is 80 years old, a woman that stays alone. And so I felt I should just allow her do it for me. Even if I have my machine, I can fix those things myself. She told her friend, I know you can't wear this kind of clothes now. It's not well, it's not nice. And then she said her friend told her what she will never forget in life. That it is better to help the woman, 80 years old, feel needed than to wear perfectly fitted clothes. That word was later with Simone Cade, and she noted that from that very moment, our orientation about life got shifted because the friend taught her a lesson that she could decide to make somebody feel important and at the expense of wearing a very perfect clothes. In life, we live in times where a lot of people are so interested in themselves. We live in times where people are so concerned about their own value and the acceptability at the expense of others. We live in times where there's so much struggle for relevance and recognition, so much struggle for little available resources. There's confusion, contention all around life, and then that many people become concerned about the welfare of others, about the well-being of others, just so long as they are fine with themselves. But then Simone Kids actually learned from a friend that irrespective of what you would desire to look like in life, you can give a little concern to someone who practically needs to feel needed. It wasn't that she couldn't do it herself or she didn't have the machine, but it's that she just decided to make the lady feel needed, to make the 80-year-old woman feel needed. I can imagine how the woman felt. I think she'll be fulfilled to see that she had sewn clothes for a neighbor. And of course, the neighbor felt that feeling alone is good for her. How much do you help people feel needed? That's the kind of God we serve. I saw from scriptures the story of Moses. And Moses is one person in scripture that we can't stop talking about. The Bible said Moses had run away from Egypt, and then God decided to send him back to those people he ran away from. And then he came with several flimsy excuses. The first question he was asking God, who am I to go back to Pharaoh? Who am I? I'm a nobody going to meet the king of Egypt, for that matter, Pharaoh. And then the Bible said God told him that, no, I'll be with you. You're not going alone. And then trying to make Moses feel still needed, God was willing to send him back. But Moses came again, oh God, no, what if they don't listen to me? What if my words doesn't make any difference to them? What if nothing happens when I talk? And then God told him, I'll cause you to become like a God to Pharaoh, that everything you say will make a difference. Now, what was God doing by this encounter? God was teaching Moses how to be relevant. God was trying to make him just feel relevant. Even if he has some excuses, God was saying, no, your excuses notwithstanding, you are still significant. Now, going further, Moses came back again, God, I have a problem with my presentation. And then God told him, he said, no, don't worry. I'll put words in your mouth. I'll put words in your mouth. I'll tell you what to say to Pharaoh. And what is this teaching us? It's teaching us that we serve a God who is so concerned about us that he will do everything to make us feel relevant. The truth of the matter is that no matter how relevant you are, the number of people you make relevant increases your relevance. And the reason is not far fetched. We serve a God who makes us what we are just the way we are. And he helps us become good because he loves us. Because he loves us. And I want to encourage you today to decide to make someone feel relevant. Make up your mind to stretch forth your hands, to helping someone feel relevant, feel needed, feel appreciated. And I'm sure your life is going to begin to make more meaning than it is right now. We're going to extend the gift of relevance, the gift of being needed, for as many people as we can.